Is the real estate market going to crash? Is it just going to correct? Do I have anything to worry about as a buyer or a seller? If you're in the market to buy or sell a home currently, you're going to be bombarded with opinions from real estate agents, lenders, and anyone who thinks they know a little bit about nothing. They're going to be giving you their opinion on whether the market's going to crash, whether it's going to go on a bull run, etc. Most of them are going to be wrong. If they're promising you anything, you need to run away immediately. The fact is, if you're extremely anxious about buying a house right now, you damn well should be. The good news is that the market is cyclical, and we've seen some of the things in play right now before, so we should have a good idea as to what potentially could come. And above all, sometimes it's just common sense, common situational sense for you and your family. So let's take a moment to really take a look at what might happen in the real estate market for you and your family. Hey folks, Cameron Stewart here with eXp Realty out of Rome, New York. I'm not going to be making any predictions right now. I'm not going to be using data. If you want to go look at predictions on what the market's going to be like, they're all over the internet, and 99% of those people are going to be wrong. We're going to use situational analysis, okay? We're going to actually go through an example of buying a home here in the central New York area, Utica, Rome, Syracuse, Watertown, wherever you live. We're going to look at buying a home, what the trends are right now, what people are spending, how things are happening, and what position that might put you in a few years from now, because every person is different. You might be buying a home for your forever home for the next 30 years. You might be buying a home for the next 5 years, and those situations are completely different. And the market does impact your resale value, and you need to be smart about it. So let's dive right into a buyer example. If you're anxious about buying a house right now, you should be at any point in time, because you need to make a good decision for you and your family, because it's the single largest purchase you guys will probably ever make, alrighty? So let's talk about a buyer example right now. So let's say you're in the market for a $200,000 home. You've decided you're pre-approved for a little over $200,000. You want to spend $200,000. You find that home that's perfect for you and your family, all right? And in order to get that home, in order to secure that home, you need to make a competitive offer. It gets into a bidding war, an escalation clause potentially, and you wind up paying 8% over list price for that home, which is not absurd. So now that $200,000 home, you are paying $216,000 for it. Now let's imagine you're an FHA buyer. So you're pre-approved for an FHA loan, you're going to be putting 3.5% down. So 3.5% of $216,000 is $7,560, which means your total loan will be $208,440. Now let's go over that one last time so I make sure we're on the same page. You're looking for a $200,000 house. You find it. You agree to pay $216,000. You're paying 3.5% down. What's left over is $208,440 total mortgage loan. Now before we go any further, what's the value of that home? It's not $208,000. It's not $216,000. It's $200,000. That's the market value for the home. You just agreed to pay over list price because you wanted to secure that home for your family, and it's a competitive market. But the value of that home is $200,000. So because the value is still at $200,000, and you paid $216,000 and you're mortgaging $208,000 roughly, you should be concerned as to when you're going to gain equity in your home. That's the big question right now. That is why people want to know what the market is going to do. But in this example, we're not going to take into consideration any market fluctuations. We want to keep it true. We want to keep it simple. We want to keep it honest, okay? So we want to understand what are the potential pitfalls for a buyer should they be purchasing in today's market. Well, here it is. In this example, you have a mortgage that's $208,440 total for a 30-year fixed mortgage, 3.5% interest rate for this example, okay? The market value of your house is still only $200,000, which means you need to make 25 mortgage payments for your loan balance to go under the $200,000 market value. So let's imagine the market does not do anything. It stays the same. Your house is still worth $200,000 25 months down the road. You now owe just under $200,000, so you think you have equity. Well, if you put it on the market and sell for $200,000, you're going to pay 6% in real estate commissions, which is $12,000 right there. So your net to seller is already $288,000. You're already below market value. This is a potential pitfall for you. You need to be smart. You need to understand how long you're going to be staying in your house. Now, if you're looking to stay in your house for 6, 7, 8, 9 years, okay, and you have a good interest rate now, you're probably going to have some equity. You could probably weather a 10% market dip. But let's take a further look into, let's say, a 5% market dip. So you have your $200,000 house, you paid $216,000 with your down payment, your total mortgage leftover is $208,440. Same example as before. Let's say the market dips 5%. So now your $200,000 home is worth $190, okay? Well, how long would it take you to go from $208,440 owed on your mortgage to $190,000? Well, with the same 3.5% interest rate that we had in our previous example, it would take 53 payments or almost 4.5 years to get to $190,000 on your mortgage. We just went over paying real estate commissions. So if you take a dip, a 5% dip in the market, you have to make 53 payments on that mortgage at 3.5% interest rate to have any type of equity in your home. You need to be aware of this potential pitfall when buying a home. Once again, if you're going to be there for 15, 20 years, then you can probably afford, potentially, to overpay on the house, okay? You should get equity in the house over the next 15 to 20 years with on-time mortgage payments and appreciation in the market. Folks, on a side note, I provided some links to the mortgage calculator that I used for this math, so please double check my math, look at it yourself. The links will be in the description of this video. So it's super important to understand where your life might take you in the next few years. Once again, it's going to take 23 mortgage payments at 3.5% interest on a $216,000 home to get any equity in the home should the market not change at all. I know we want to know where the market's going to go. Is it going to go up? Is it going to go down? Let's imagine it's the same. You still might have some potential pitfalls. If you're not thinking about these things, you should be, okay? And once again, very different if you're going to be buying a house for 5 years. It's a very different approach than buying a house that you're going to live in for 20, okay? Now let's get to the sellers. Deciding whether or not to sell your house should ultimately come down to personal preference. However, I understand that in this market, your home's value may have appreciated to the point where now you have equity in the home while you didn't before. With that said, it actually might behoove you to consider selling as soon as possible, but there are some things you need to consider. First off, your monthly mortgage payments will never outpace either a rise or fall in the value of your home. Meaning you shouldn't put a lot of stock into saying, well, my house might depreciate in value 5%, but I'm going to be paying mortgage payments. The fluctuation in the market is going to outpace whatever mortgage payments you're making. Now, what this really means is that if the market right now created equity for you, you may have already potentially been in a bad situation before. Now, once again, this goes back to what your personal preference is. If you're struggling to make your mortgage payments right now and you're considering downsizing, maybe you just don't need the space anymore, your job situation changed and you just can't afford the payments anymore, that might be a time to you consider selling your house and downsizing. But if you're comfortable with your mortgage, okay, if you think you're going to be in your home for a long time, your kids are in school potentially and you like the district, I wouldn't necessarily rush to sell right now. We do generally see an appreciation over time in the market when it comes to selling. And if you're making your mortgage payments and they're not an issue to make your mortgage payments and you're comfortable with where you're at, then I wouldn't necessarily go rush to sell. Yes, we're seeing inflated prices, but the grass isn't always greener on the other side. So for sellers, it's a lot easier of a decision. It really comes down to personal preference. We can start with a comparative market analysis to see what the value of your home is currently and whether or not that is justification for you to potentially sell it and move. But you should be really thinking about your personal preferences and how comfortable you are within your home. Anyone can make an argument at most times whether it's a good time or a bad time to sell your house. Personal preference for you. So folks, just to sum everything up here, I'm sorry I didn't give you a prediction. I'm sorry I didn't use data from the market to tell you what's going to happen, but everyone's going to be doing that, and 99% of people are going to be wrong. You can go elsewhere for that. But we used a real example for a buyer in the Mohawk Valley, in Syracuse and Watertown, in the central New York area, wherever you live, and what the potential pitfalls could be just buying at market price or slightly over market price right now. So if you guys have any questions, please reach out to me, 315-351-2765. My goal is to help people understand the potential pitfalls of buying a house right now. You got to be smart. You shouldn't be scared. Anxious, okay. A little nervous, 100%. Scared? No, okay? We need to educate ourselves and understand the position we're in. And as a real estate agent, I'm gonna rely on you to tell me what's best for you. I don't know what's best for you. My job is to advise you in real estate, okay? And let you know of some of these potentials, okay? I'm relying on you to let me know what your situation is, and we can make the best decision there. You are your own best boss. You know your financial situation and your family situation way better than I do. So, if you guys need any help in real estate in Central New York, please reach out to me, 315-351-2765. You can log on to www.homesbycameron.com. don't let anyone scare you out of the market right now. Just be educated, understand what you're getting into, and try and set yourself up best by understanding what could potentially happen in the future. Thanks so much, folks. Once again, Cameron Stewart with eXp Realty out of Rome, New York, serving all your residential real estate needs. I hope to speak to you guys soon.